Now, once customer problems are surfaced, the next problem is that the front line, in many cases, lacks the flexibility and clear, believable explanations for why the company does what it does. Now, on the flexibility side, the challenge is that one size answer does not fit all. At American Express, we created what we called flexible solution spaces, which said there are 4 ways of handling this issue. Pick the one that makes the most sense and give the front line the flexibility depending on who the customer is and exactly how the problem got caused. The other challenge, which appears in almost every company, is the lack of clear, believable explanations as to why the company does what it does. In most environments, if a customer is told no, or gee, we really can't do that for you, the next thing out of their mouth is, well, why do you have that policy? Why can't you do this for me? And if the frontline representative can't defend the company policy, they're going to give one of 2 answers, which is either, look, Mac, that's our policy, which comes across as rudeness, except in New York. Or the other answer is, yeah, that is a stupid policy. I work for a stupid company, which also doesn't contribute to corporate image. On the other hand, if I can give you a clear, believable explanation, I can do bad things to you and still retain your loyalty. For example, if the airline pilot gets on and says we have a 1-hour delay due to a mechanical, there are a bunch of follow-ups. On the other hand, if he says we have a leak in the hydraulic system, almost everyone's reaction is, I want a good hydraulic system, take an extra 30 minutes if necessary. We joke at Lexus that when you're saying no to the customer or giving him bad news, the object of the game is to tell the customer to go to hell in such a way that he looks forward to the trip. The key parts of customer experience are, first, to make sure that your staff is well empowered, because remember, staff really isn't to blame. Give them the flexibility and clear, believable explanations, and then empower them to create delight. Now, one has to be careful with customer delight. I've had an ongoing discussion with the Honda management, who says we want to continuously exceed customer expectations. We think that's not a very smart idea because you're wasting a lot of money. Everyone has heard the Nordstrom story, which is about the lady who came to a Nordstrom's carrying 2 tires and said, I bought these tires at this location, I want my money back. And Nordstrom's doesn't sell tires. But the customer is always right, so they gave her her money back. Now, the backstory is there used to be a tire store on that location, but Nordstrom's wasn't involved. And while that story is used to motivate employees to give great service, finance people have also heard that story and say, on the face of it, that's ridiculous. We can't spend that kind of money delighting customers. Now, on the other hand, Chick-fil-A has now hired your grandmother to cruise the dining room, pouring sweet tea and saying, oh, would you like a few more fries? And her job description, this is their term, not mine, is to create microbursts of emotional connection. In 20 to 40 seconds, she can make that transaction memorable. So empower your front line to schmooze with the customer and create that emotional connection. For instance, at Neiman Marcus Direct, we had one customer who said, you know, I was talking to one of your reps on the phone and they heard Fluffy the dog barking in the background. So we digressed and talked about Fluffy for a minute, and I connected with your rep, and you're a wonderful company. So in a 1-minute schmooze, you can get a 20 to 30 point top box lift. Now, we also find that technology is key to both voice of the customer and customer experience. And I go back to my FedEx example. At FedEx, they knew 10 hours before you do that the package wasn't going to arrive. So what you need to do is look at your operational data to say, where do we have transaction failures that are going to happen tomorrow, and how can we warn the customer about that so that the problem won't really occur? Also, you can reduce your service expense by anticipating what the customer's next question is going to be. For instance, Amazon, way back when, 15 years ago, figured out that when you ordered a book, your next question was going to be, when are you going to ship it? When am I going to get it? So they built that into the software to proactively communicate to you. And that technology is critical, because if Amazon had to have a human being call each customer who ordered a book and say, you're going to get it on Thursday, they would have been out of business long ago. So technology now is critically important. Another aspect of technology that's very useful is video. We have found that no one has time to read a one-page set of directions or a contract, but everyone has time to watch a 1-minute funny video. So what you have to do is take your 3 or 4 key things you need to communicate to the customer and put it in a video. And sort of an interesting example is Zipcar has now taken a rather boring topic called extending your reservation and has converted it into a 1-minute soap opera where this young lady drives up to meet an obviously new boyfriend who has a picnic spread out, and her facial expression is, ooh, this is neat, ooh, this is going to take more time, and so she surreptitiously is using her smartphone to extend her reservation. The narrator then comes over, sits down on the blanket, and starts eating the grapes while he's educating you on the technology. So entertainment via video is one of the best ways of preventing customer problems. And my Exhibit A is airline safety videos, which no one ever watched the safety video. Now that when you have stodgy airlines like United Airlines doing visual puns with kangaroos, everybody watches the safety videos, and the regulators are happy with that.